creating a realistic new home budget. Because when going into our free report there, the 13 extra costs to getting into a home, but then when you do have a home, you do have to have a new budget of what comes into play. One of the things is that once you get into your property, is it going to be requiring painting, repairs, and other preparations once you move in, and how much money is that going to cost, and where is that money going to come from if you don't have it? Planning a budget on that is something that really is going to help you once you get in there, because you're going to obviously have your first cost, which is your mortgage that you're going to have to pay. And usually that mortgage is going to include your taxes and insurance.
Yep.
But then you're also going to have your electrical costs. There's water, and like we talked about, there's cable, and there's
maybe HOA.
There's all kinds of things that come into play when you're looking at it. And then you might think, okay, with all that stuff, I'm above my rental rate. And the bottom line is that you're really not. But you definitely do need to be realistic and looking at what you're going to have for your costs if you want to do that. Another interesting article that we ran into this week was how single women are changing the home buying market. They actually buy 60% more home purchases than single men.
Very
which
interesting.
Is quite a large number. So when it comes to that, there's all that is as a result of, it's projected to increase. Actually, there's the gender gap and all that kind of thing, and demographics that come into play with all of that. And baby boomers actually are going to be inheriting in the next 20 years. There's 13 trillion of wealth that's going to be transferred to the baby boomers. When it comes down to the single women, they actually are a huge force out there. So I guess the bottom line is, regardless of your marital status, you are eligible to buy a house. We were talking on last week's show about special financing, or things that you need to know, or the limited amount of money that you need to actually buy a house. And I think that we found that there are actually 230 special assistance programs available to Florida buyers. A lot of the programs there's some 100% down, there's some 3% down, 3.5% down. There's all kinds of systems out there and programs out there, and then to help you reach those goals. And so I think that owning a home is one of the greatest things. It's one of the greatest American dreams out there.
Exactly.
And the reason for it is because there are tax consequences to you that are favorable in your favor, that help you with that. So when you're looking at if you are out there paying rent, and you're looking at how much you're paying in rent, that you don't get a tax write-off for it, and then if you did own a home, you actually could be paying less, and then your taxes could be less as well, because you do get to write off a lot of those things, like your interest, that you aren't able to write off as
a renter.
Yeah. There's one thing out there called the MCC tax credit.
Yeah, which actually adds a little bit to your income.
Yeah.
To get you into, maybe, you need that next bracket to get into a house or something.
Right. Because what that does is it's a $2,000, I believe, tax credit that you get. And so that comes immediately off of your tax bill, and in effect gives you a $169 pay raise every month.